Charge! 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 You betrayed me. There's no other choice. And instigated the warriors through deceit, driving them into a fatal situation. Your blood brothers, who pushed their way through the battlefield alongside you. You are no longer a warrior, Kabul. I will repay this sin with death later. That's. This is the swordsmanship shown by the eternal ice crystal, the essence and original form of the sword path that faintly glimpsed in the ice ghosts and Bingseal's swords before. A sword of the North Sea that could be called the Genesis sword dance. The Evenfall's image is still within me. Oh, I can feel the power of the eternal ice crystal resonating from beyond. Though it may not be as overwhelming as what I saw in the vision, let's go. Ice Spirit. Cuff. What the? Did the force just pass by? Huh. Ugh, there's no energy in my body. Erg. I can't feel any inner strength at all. Phew. As expected, this power is not something a human can wield. It's neither special swordsmanship nor martial arts. Just pouring out the immense energy of the ice spirit through the sword. Such ocean-like vast energy sweeps away all others, leaving even veteran warriors and sturdy North Sea excellent horses powerless in its wake. The problem is that the caster's inner strength is swept away along with it. Elder Brother Woon. Are you alright? I wish the eternal ice crystal had shown me this beforehand. Even though I feel like collapsing right away due to a lack of energy. Of course, Brother Dako. They're still here. Would you like to continue? Bayantu. Greets the blue wolf. Bayantu. Greets the blue wolf. I greet the blue wolf. They called you the blue wolf. Is the crucial moment over now? I'm sorry, but acknowledging him is still impossible for me. Kabul, you brat. Even now. What more can we do here? But I can't step back either. This is already a war. That person no longer has the power to blow the mounted unit. And even if there is some left, he won't be able to handle 300 mounted warriors alone. What's going on now? What did he say? Given this non-trivial atmosphere, isn't something going wrong? It is, right? Ah, what a strange coincidence. Mine is pink, though. As expected, this color is much prettier, isn't it? Is now the time to nitpick what's pretty. Oh my gosh. You're shouting too loud. You just sent a signal, didn't you? And someone's coming to help, right? Right. Please tell me I'm right. Yes, you are. My sister is coming. Sister. Ah, lady little princess. And no one else, only she alone. Who knows? Right after they raised the signal, we heard the clatter of hoofs resonating through heaven and earth, and what about us? Shouldn't we at least hear the horn? The horn isn't being blown. No, that's not my point. Ha! Lady little princess. They already raised the signal, so there was no need for you to set off one. Sister. Well done. Hee hee. Wait, have you really come alone? Ignored. The third princess greets the blue wolf. You don't have to. Did you like the training chamber? It was extremely breathtaking. But the Overlord Blade seems to approve. Thank heavens. Didn't want to be disrespectful to the general. Unfortunately, it's not about you. First Prince. Indeed, in such a moment, there's no one else but you before me. So, how do you plan to face my 300-man mounted unit? The first prince's unit does have tremendous military potential. Yes. You need this level to deal with the Blue Wolf. However, for the Blue Wolf to confront a 300-man mounted unit, 12 would be enough. Ah. Bingseal. Wouldn't who? 12 North Sea maidservants. No way did you mean all 12 of them would move as you pleased. The 12 North Sea maidservants is a power that takes care solely of the North Sea. Even the Ice Emperor cannot move them for individual purposes. It was none other than you who made them move. What do you mean? It wasn't just the Overlord Blade and his 3 warriors. Even the 12 riders, along with a 50-man mounted unit, swarmed at once. Up to this point, it could be justified as an innocent challenge against one person, the Blue Wolf. What a shame. I was momentarily blinded and committed such a cowardly act. But a 300-man mounted unit against the Blue Wolf is a hostile action. Nothing more, nothing less. That reminds me, didn't Kabul already call this a war? How could the 12 North Sea maidservants overlook your audacity in declaring war on the Blue Wolf? Even the esteemed elders of the previous generation won't let this slide, will they? Don't tell me you're still harboring doubts about the Blue Wolf. That's not true. According to the North Sea's commandments, we will not tolerate those who show hostility towards the Blue Wolf. So, what will you do now? Elder brother. Van. We merely came to gain better insight into the Blue Wolf's martial prowess. I don't know what you're talking about, but... ridiculous. Please don't be fooled by the third princess's talk. Even the 12 North Sea maidservants can't stop a 300-man mounted unit. We're here now to determine the next owner of the Ice Palace. Shut up. First Prince. It's too late, Kabul. Don't you still understand? Once the 12 North Sea maidservants have intervened, we've essentially turned the entire North Sea into an enemy. 300-man mounted unit. No mounted unit can oppose the North Sea and survive. In fact, no tribe can do it. Today, we have suffered a total defeat against the Blue Wolf. Don't you still understand? Once the 12 Northern Sea maidservants have intervened, we've essentially turned the entire Northern Sea into an enemy. 300-man mounted unit. No mounted unit can oppose the Northern Sea and survive. In fact, no tribe can do it. Today, we have suffered a total defeat against the Blue Wolf. Even if the 12 Northern Sea maidservants are free from the Ice Emperor's regulation, even if they're a power that takes care solely of the Northern Sea, is it really this futile? We're returning. Giddy up. I just felt Bingseal's look on me. Is it okay to simply let them go like that? Yes, everything's fine. Now, the first prince has lost his authority. His 300-man mounted unit will be disbanded and scattered, whereas the support from the tribes will cease. It might even be difficult to keep the first prince whole. How is it to lose all the forces that followed him in one fell swoop? Wouldn't he feel like his blood is draining from his body? Was the little princess such a wicked person? In any case, the first prince is completely finished now. There's no way we were just bait for this outcome, is there? I'm curious, but let's refrain from expressing these thoughts aloud. Lady Little Princess, it turns out you're quite a terrifying person. What a spotlessly clean sky. Somehow, it even looks cold and ruthless. Ice Emperor's office. Good job. I deeply appreciate your efforts, willingly given for the sake of the Northern Sea. From now on, the Northern Sea will be your steadfast friend, and you will be remembered as the wise blue wolf from the boundary of heaven and earth. As long as you're alive. Here's a letter to the divine monk of the Murim Alliance. That's probably what he wants. As the messenger from the Murim Alliance delegation, I will ensure it reaches the divine monk without fail. Now, the Ice Emperor's letter has become an officially transmitted formal promise. Thus, the biggest burden of this journey is off my shoulders. I heard you taught a lesson to the Overlord Blade and his warriors. They say you exterminated a 50-man mounted unit with just your sword. How so? Exterminated. No one died there, but how I did it is not important. If you see a path you must take, you simply follow it. So, it cannot be expressed in words after all. Understood. Someday, I would like to receive teachings from you as well. In all respects, that's kind of. Well, may you have a safe journey. May the Ice Emperor also remain in good health. Well done, well done. Am I saying it right? Thank you for your hard work. The way back won't be as difficult as the way here. A trading company will accompany you. Go, perhaps you won't envy the royal procession. Little princess, aren't you going with us? I have things to attend to here. But you'll come soon anyway, won't you? And our friend Ice Ghost is absent from the Northern Sea to prepare for your return. You're sharper than you look. However, what I can say now remains unchanged. I won't be going with you. That's all. Oh, right. I have a gift for the delegation. A gift. They say there are many miraculous medicines for men in the Northern Sea, so by any chance. There are many. Follow me. Hey, are we going to see them right away? I was planning to give it to you anyway. Little princess. Yes. Do you happen to know the meaning of these words? They seem like the ones from the Northern Sea. Where did you hear them? It was in the former Ice Emperor's training chamber. They were used in a very distant past. The language is said to have originated during a time when it was winter everywhere and continued to be used until there was no winter anywhere. It still lingers nowadays. But solely as a ceremonial one. Little princess. Will I ever get to hear your pipa again someday? Will ascend to the Ice Emperor's throne soon. Not just in the name like the Ice Empress, but as the true Empress of the Northern Sea. And you will lead the Murim Alliance or emerge as a key figure in Murim. At the very least, embodying Murim's pride in Jianghu. Aye. When we meet again. Will it be a battlefield with flowing blood, or the starlit and beautiful West Lake shores? Life doesn't necessarily have just one path. That's true. But only if you put away your sword and I yield. Put away a sword. Me. When the sword is all I have left. Please be cautious of King Mun. Neither the first great overseer nor the dark heaven martial emperor will move easily. But King Mun is different. He won't hesitate to try to kill you. Little princess. Your choice. Your choice was right. That's what the old saying means. A few days later, the day arrived for the Murim Alliance delegation to depart, but the little princess did not show herself. The Northern Sea has sunk into silence. Does it mean we've lost contact? Yes, all lines of communication with the core forces of the Northern Sea are currently cut off. By who? The first prince, who used to ridiculously flaunt the Northern Sea pride. Not him. The first prince was expelled from the Ice Palace by the third princess. She's the mastermind behind this incident. The third princess. Did she have enough authority? Allegedly, the Blue Wolf appeared and assisted her. The Blue Wolf, huh? The one who's said to come from the boundary of heaven and earth. But isn't that just a legend? According to information, he appeared, received recognition from the Ice Emperor, and exterminated the Overlord Blade as well as over 50 mounted men with a single sword stroke. Nonsense. How could someone kill over 50 mounted men with a single sword stroke? That's either just a false rumor or an exaggeration likely made for political purposes. Then again, at least the part about him defeating the Overlord Blade must be true. But how does that lead to severing ties with us? Could it be the intention of that blue wolf? Yes. They say he is the Sword Saint's successor from the Murim alliance. The Sword Saint's successor. That bastard the martial emperor was looking for. Interesting. The Sword Saint's successor becomes the blue wolf, and lays his hands on the Northern Sea overnight. The very Northern Sea that the great overseer even honored with a personal visit. And what was his reaction? He said nothing about the Northern Sea's matters but showed interest in the blue wolf, for he might possess the record. Both the Azure Dragon Sword Ruler and the blue wolf are perceived as the most probable owners. Of course. Hasn't my father's attention always been solely on the owner of the record? The martial emperor seeks only the strong, and Birion merely follows him. Leaving just me as the one interested in the world. What should we do about the Northern Sea? Leave it be. Since the great overseer isn't getting involved, there's no need for me to take the trouble of stepping in. Right now, our priority is to have the Green Forest and the pirate stronghold ready. Give one more firm warning to the 3 greatest trading companies. Make sure they can produce the pills within the set time. Once the great overseer's orders are fulfilled, the world will be in my hands. As the title of Dark Heaven Martial Emperor implies, I'm going to vanish under the dark night sky and become the ruler of the bright world. Yes, soon. At that time, I must witness the Northern Sea bowing at my feet. He he he. Yay, what a pleasure. Now that's a true luxury. Ha 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 ha. I wish this carriage would move very slowly, at a snail's pace. Anyway, what are your plans after returning to the Murim Alliance, Secretary Woon? Well, I just want to lead a quiet life. Practicing my sword without deceiving or hurting others. Truly a tough wish. Why? Do you know what people in this trading company call you? The martial god of the Northern Sea. Secretary Woon, all Northern Sea people, without exception, regard you as a heavenly god. Besides, aren't you already known as the Sword Saint's successor? May the multitude in the world feel envy and jealousy towards you rather than respect. So, what awaits you in the future will be incomparable to what came before. There may also be a moment when a choice must be made. Whatever you choose, once you've made up your mind, please never look back. In Jianghu, one who is incapable of giving up on something cannot survive. This is the only advice I can give you. Although it might just be the drivel of a drunkard. I will keep it in mind. Jianghu. Perhaps the old days, when I only carried longings and fantasies, were much better. As they say, nice roads end early, and peaceful days pass in the blink of an eye. We've already crossed the border and taken the government road. Hangzhou should be within easy reach now. How many days until we arrive? It depends on the road conditions, but I think there might be a slight delay. Trading company head. What? A delay. I apologize. We are doing our best, but due to recent turbulent rumors, it's necessary to. No, company head, there's no need for you to apologize. As expected from the martial god of the Northern Sea. What rumors, by the way? Has something happened? They say that mountain bandits or river pirate strongholds are swaggering about all over the government roads these days. Their dishonest violence is nothing new, but lately, you cannot feel at ease even on these roads, which is why we're trying to choose the safest route. I see. But would it be wrong to assume that most of the area from here to Hangzhou is under the Murim Alliance's influence? Well, Martial clans are currently unable to pay attention to this matter. Because of the World Murim contest being held not somewhere, but at the Murim Alliance. The World Murim contest. So that's why. No wonder they can't bother themselves with some mountain bandits or river pirates. Something feels off. The Murim Alliance is holding the world-first contest to keep the Yangtze River Pirates Alliance in check. But are they actually neglecting those bandits' tyranny because of the contest? Something doesn't add up. No, it feels like I'm missing out. Murim Alliance, Guest Reception Hall. Sir Guan Jibu. We emergency. Haven't Sir Guan Jibu. The Qinghai family has refused the assigned accommodation. Sir Guan Jibu. The conflict between the Xiaotu family and the northern sect. Sir Guan Jibu. The Dark Blade sect has overturned the dining tables at the eating place. Sir Guan Jibu. The Blood Blade and Divine Sword families. Sir Guan Jibu. In the Great Blade family. Oh. I'm hearing things. Sir Guan Jibu. Ike. We are exhausted after staying up 4 nights in a row, but there's no time to have a sound rest. To compile reports and come up with measures for yesterday's incidents. We'll have to stay up again tonight. The secretaries who wrote these also said it was killing them. And they have to deal with the angry martial artists directly. But still, I doubt we can do any better. Except to just hope that the Murim contest ends soon. Will it really end? The official martial confrontations haven't even started yet, while more participants are flocking in every day. And not only that, rumor has it even martial masters from the demonic cult or unorthodox sects, who had concealed their presence, are targeting this contest. What? Why would they? Because there are many grudges against the Murim Alliance. Shouldn't the motivation be both to seek revenge and to earn more fame? Nonsense. Given how many martial masters have gathered at the Murim Alliance, wouldn't they willingly go to their deaths? It's ridiculous that such rumors are spreading in the first place. Do you think the demon leaders themselves boasted about their plans? Instead of picking up and spreading baseless rumors, get back to work. Oh, by the way, Sir Guan Jibu. Early this morning, we received word from the Beijing branch that Secretary Wu is returning. Aren't you curious about what role he played in that distant northern sea? Stop talking nonsense. Damn. Why does the Sword Saint's successor have to come now of all times? Complaints from small and medium clans are piling up. The abundance of people on top of insufficient preparation. After all, the contest is oriented towards large clans, while smaller ones are bound to face discrimination. I fear the built-up dissatisfaction might explode. Nearby Beijing. From here, we will go to Hangzhou on our own. No, we must escort you there. For us, the affairs of your lordships are the top priority. How can you profit by simply going past the major cities? Just lending us a single carriage will be enough. Please don't worry. But I will send a letter of appreciation to the Ice Emperor later. There won't be any harm to your trading company. Thank you. And do you have any plans to go near Dongting Lake? Yes. Dongting Lake is famous as a granary region, so we must stop over there. Then, is there any trade between you and the Tiger Rock Trading Company? Unfortunately, not at the moment. However, as the Tiger Rock Trading Company is ambitiously expanding its sphere, maybe. How about I write a letter of introduction for you? How can we refuse an introduction from your lordship? But daring to accept such a generous favor. It's fine. Just consider it a token of my gratitude for helping with this journey. And also, I would like you to deliver a personal letter to my relative at the Tiger Rock Trading Company. Please feel free to leave it to us. If so, I will address the letter of introduction to Lady Li Xiaoyan. Would you mind? Li Xiaoyan. Vile woman. By Lady Li Xiaoyan. You mean her ladyship of the Tiger Rock Trading Company? If so, I will address the letter of introduction to Lady Li Xiaoyan. Would you mind? Li Xiaoyan. A woman. By Lady Li Xiaoyan. You mean her ladyship of the Tiger Rock Trading Company. Do you know her? Of course I do. Lady Li Xiaoyan is currently the most notable person in the Tiger Rock Trading Company. Her keen eye is unmatched, and her punctuality in payments has earned her a great reputation among trading companies. I see. Then could you please prepare the writing materials? Yes, I'll make the arrangements right away. So you know someone at the Tiger Rock Trading Company as well. That's an unexpectedly wide circle of acquaintances. It just turned out that way. Well, is that Lady Li Xiaoyan pretty? She is. As expected. I thought so. But she's not just a beauty. Approach her splendid look carelessly, and you'll end up bleeding from her sharp thorns. Yay! I envy you, Secretary Woon. After handing over the letter of introduction and the personal letter to Il Ayong, Woon Hyun's party parted ways with the trading company and headed straight to the Murim alliance in Hangzhou. Thanks to Dako Rang's excellent carriage driving skills, they arrived there earlier than expected. What greeted the party was the town of Hangzhou, bustling with people. The city looks completely different. I can't see Hangzhou's unique charm anymore. Right, really chaotic. Apparently. It's still the preliminary stages for small, medium, and emerging clans. I like its own lively atmosphere, though. Phew, that young lady is pretty. This guy never changes. The front of the Murim alliance is probably packed with people. It must be crowded with challengers who want to compete with the 8 great sections. I'm looking forward to it. Among the smaller and emerging clans, there are those who use unique sword paths, right? I can't wait to see them. As Jagal Jiho said, the front of the Murim alliance was teeming with unfamiliar martial artists. Woon Hyun's eyes shone with pure curiosity and craving as he observed the scene, finding it similar to what he had imagined. Thus, their delegation's long journey to the Northern Sea came to an end. Inside the Murim alliance, Jagal Ryan's office. Welcome, Secretary Woon. Given the current situation, we couldn't even properly greet those who came from afar. Greeting us isn't necessary. And please, speak comfortably. How could I dare to be impolite to someone bearing the jade token of the patriarch? It's you who should make yourself comfortable, Secretary Woon. The jade token that the Jagal family patriarch casually gave me turned out to be extraordinary, after all. I've never taken it out of my luggage, but let's hope it's okay. I heard that you brought back favorable results from the Northern Sea. It must have been a difficult task, so thank you so much for your efforts. I just did what I had to do. You've worked hard too. Prepare well to present an official report at the representatives' meeting later. Understood, eldest brother. Wait a minute, as a secretary, I'm supposed to. There's no need for you to take the trouble, Secretary Woon. The official report will be made by the delegation's messenger anyway. That makes sense, but now I have nothing to do. Although I would love to hear about what happened in the Northern Sea in detail, the Alliance is very busy right now, so we must postpone that opportunity. I will arrange a good occasion later. Thank you for your consideration. Please release your worries, Secretary Woon. I know how to keep public and private matters separate. There won't be a single hint of anything inappropriate in the report. Considering Secretary Woon is likely occupied after returning from a long absence, you're free to leave now. Thank you. Then take care and stay well. Is Mr. Jagal not going? Oh right, they're brothers. I suppose there's plenty to discuss in private. Secretary Woon. Don't forget, you agreed to go to the pleasure house together later. When did I make such a promise? I don't even remember mentioning a pleasure house. Well, it seems like something I forgot. Let's go, Brother Dako. Now, to the culprit one who sent me to the Northern Sea. To Divine Monk Bulyong residing at the Crouching Dragon Pavilion. A pleasure house. Secretary Woon also seems to have quite the taste. Believe me, all the women he knows are truly beautiful and charming, including the young ladies from the Northern Sea and the Namgong family. Of course, as the Sword Saint's successor. He's likely to have high standards. If you go somewhere nice. To the most splendid and expensive place in Hangzhou. Using petty tricks. No matter how much it costs. Building a friendship with Secretary Woon will be a great asset. Not just for you but for the family. Boy, perhaps the patriarch has taken a more unconventional decision than I thought. But above all, what on earth is this supposed to mean? How could he exterminate over 50 mounted men with a single sword stroke? That's nothing but a rumor. But he clearly neutralized over 50 mounted men on his own using only a sword. Besides, that was just a fight. No, since they've never clashed, it can't even be called a fight. The mounted unit was crushed with just 2 sword swings in the air. That's all. Do you expect me to believe it? Even the Sword Saint himself couldn't do that. Nobody knows about that, don't you think? We've never heard of the Sword Saint fighting a mounted unit. The important thing is that Secretary Woon and the Sword Saint are beyond human level. Like incomprehensible beings, existing above the distant heavens. I don't think he's lying, but it's hard to take the story at face value. What about another instance where Secretary Woon used the Taiji Wisdom Sword's profound principle to neutralize 12 horse riders? That's just my guess. But I couldn't think of any other way to describe it. Using techniques like counter-switch wouldn't be enough to blow away heavily armored cavalry, would it? To blow away. Yes, the hefty warhorses just floated in the air as if they had turned into butterflies. This letter was passed down to me through the family. Therefore, the patriarch deemed this report credible. Keep this matter to yourself for now. Understood. Upon returning to the family, you'll also find a lot of work awaiting you. The patriarch has granted you permission to study the secret martial arts manual and learn about the family's business administration. So take this opportunity seriously and dedicate yourself to it. It seems I should treat Secretary Woon to a grand meal soon. Do so. You'll be staying within the family for a while now. Phew. With this, the matter of the Northern Sea is settled. However, I may have brought an even bigger problem inside, known as Woon Hyun. The overseer took control of the Yangtze River pirates through the Dark Heaven Martial Emperor and sought to win over the Northern Sea. What if he even had a grip on the Green Forest? We were attacked by those bandits on our way to the Northern Sea. And their movements are said to be aggressive recently. Something seems off. What is that overseer aiming for? We've arrived. Thank you. I might have gone to the wrong place without you. Are you okay? Sure. I just have a little something to think about. I'm back. Hal, here you are. Come over here. You too, follow me. Don't be afraid, I won't harm your master. He is. I know. The one they call the solitary swordsman, right? So, we're not exactly master and servant, but sworn brothers that I heard you performed quite a sword dance on Iron Peak. Is that true? Still, you don't smell as bloody as I expected. Maybe you should change your nickname to the emotional sword or the affectionate sword. You both worked hard, so have a drink. It's nothing special, but not just anyone can drink this tea. Drinking tea loudly like the hidden Buddha monk. Well, how was the Northern Sea? The Northern Sea. Were the ladies pretty? Did you get any elixirs? The Northern Sea is really famous for seals, you know what? That reminds me, what about that child? After going all the way to the far Northern Sea. Did you get a stamp and ask her parents for permission? If there's a pretty maid, I'd like to know. The Northern Sea. Were the ladies pretty? Did you get any elixirs? The Northern Sea is really famous for seals, you know what? That reminds me, what about that child? After going all the way to the far Northern Sea. Did you get a stamp and ask her parents for permission? If there's a pretty maid, I'd like to know. Why are you screaming all of a sudden? This old man isn't deaf yet. I'm sorry, it's not that. Gosh, by the look on your face, I guess you didn't bring anything back. Youth these days have no respect for their elders. No matter how much you take care of them. It's all in vain. There is something more important, esteemed monk. Important. Like hell, you know what's important. Wouldn't such things be written in the report anyway? That's true, but what's more important in the world than the love affair between man and woman? Without that, the human race couldn't exist in the first place. So what in God's name is of more importance? I mean, still. You have a point, but hearing it from the esteemed monk is a bit, God help me. Bland boy. You come back after a long time to say that. TSK. If you're done with the tea, leave. I'm busy too. But you don't look busy at all. Crouching Dragon Pavilion. What's wrong? Crouching Dragon Pavilion. It's just that he seems unusually quiet today. Does he? But for me, he was very noisy, like the hidden Buddha monk. I agree, and yet. Every time we meet, he always offers me profound words or problems. Are there any concerns? Or a personal issue, perhaps? Are you going back to your lodging? No, to the secretariat. There's something I need to check. Is it related to what was on your mind earlier? As expected, you know me well. Oh, and I'm going to arrange your lodging through the guest reception hall. So don't leave the Murim Alliance and wait. Since the preliminaries of the Murim contest are being held, why don't you take a look? Go ahead. And let me know if there's an interesting martial spar. Understood. Then, see you in front of the Secretariat building later. He's considerate, fearing I might wait all day. After meeting his lordship, I forgot about the days of my past crazy life. Martial spar. Just 2 words make my heart race. Looks like a temporary building. It's quite spacious but messy and congested. Was there such a place within the Murim Alliance? Where are you from, mate? Well, seeing you here, I can pretty much guess without your response. Do you know where martial spars are being held? Martial spars. Martial spars. Given it's the Murim contest, blade-wielding martial artists are unlikely to wait quietly for their turn. Follow me. High up. Ugh. Lost. T to think you would challenge the Jiangnan Great Tiger, Great Warrior Gu Yoke, with such meager skills. Practice for 100 more years. T. The one talking is beaten up himself, though. Erg. Now, is there anyone who still dares to challenge the Jiangnan Great Tiger Gu Yoke? You're so full of yourself, bastard. T. I don't know where this greenhorn crawled out from, but today, you've met your proper master. Fei, those insignificant guys are hogging the martial stage again. But wait a bit, and you'll see some worthy opponents. There are always brats who like to show off with abandon when they're not around. The martial stage is better prepared than I expected. Well, it's not a match officially recognized by the Murim Alliance and should be considered off-site. But this way, they're unexpectedly fun. You don't need to qualify or fuss about affiliations. Step up, and with some luck, you win. If not, just get owned once. And the outcome. The one who falls is naturally the loser while standing makes the winner. That's simple. How dare you, bastard. Kaya. Okay. Feelin' that, huh? Still wanna challenge me. D-damn you. Just you wait. Heh. You think you're the only one, just you, wait loser. Next time, get in line beforehand, tee. I'm Jiangnan Great Tiger Gu Yoke. Jiangnan Great Tiger Gu Yoke. Got it. Haha. Man, I'm exhausted. He looks exhausted. The stage is empty now. Tough guy. Where's the backer? I'm Zhang Balsan from Shandong. Zhang Balsan. Shandong. Don't tell me. Shandong Black Tiger, Zhang Balsan. Who will teach me? He even infused inner energy into his voice. A martial master. Humph, are they all scared just because I shouted with a bit of inner energy? As expected, I cannot find someone with spirit off-site. Who is he? Not sure, someone unfamiliar. Who are you? I'm Dako Rang. Dako Rang. You mean Dako Rang, the solitary swordsman. The solitary swordsman. The solitary swordsman known for sword chi manifestation. The one who took down the Great Void sect leader with a single strike and wiped out Iron Peak. But wait, what is a martial master of sword chi manifestation doing here? I don't think this place is for a martial master like you. I won't use sword chi, as well as my inner energy. I'll just engage in a martial spar with my pure strength and this sword. Still scared? Oh. Your words are tempting, but there's always a chance you might use your sword chi unknowingly, right? In case that happens, I'll admit my defeat. I won't use sword chi, as well as my inner energy. I'll just engage in a martial spar with my pure strength and this sword. Still scared? Your words are tempting, but there's always a chance you might use your sword chi unknowingly, right? In case that happens, I'll admit my defeat. This is my chance. Fine. In these conditions, I have what it takes to win. I've had my share of blood-soaked real fights, and most importantly, I can use my inner energy. Shandong Black Tiger, Zhang Balsan, is ready to learn from you today. And I'm Dako Rang. Hiya. While the small and medium sects and emerging martial academies fiercely competed in the preliminary rounds of the Murim contest, the major sects and families were leisurely waiting for the finals. Welcome everyone who has come to this event. Once the 14 martial sects and clans that passed the preliminaries were determined, the Murim Alliance officially declared the opening of the Murim contest. I, Jinho, am inexpressibly touched to see all of you, my Jianhu companions. Esteemed monk Jinho Shaolin Temple's representative and MC of the Murim contest. So, esteemed monk Jinho is overseeing the Murim contest. Yes. He's been personally looking after all the martial spars since the preliminaries. True to his Shaolin monk nature, he's very uncompromising. A person so strict and meticulous that even most martial artists tend to avoid him. He's put in a lot of effort. And sorry for being late, elder brother. Never mind. The family affairs can't be helped. Besides, the finals are just beginning, aren't they? Right, now it's come. The time when the name of the Murim family gets known to the Murim Alliance and the world. Do your best, elder brother Jean. Thank you. Your support gives me strength, Sang-na. He. Murim Danchun Murim family head. Where is elder brother Woon? Ah, they say his lordship Woon hasn't returned from the Northern Sea yet. The Northern Sea. Where is the Northern Sea? It's strange for him to be absent while the Murim contest is being held by the Alliance. Actually, we haven't been able to check on him because of the preliminaries. He might have returned during that time. I'll find out later. Leave it to me, then. It's fine if I go to the Secretariat, right? Especially, any means that can cause fatal harm to the opponent are strictly forbidden. Anyone who violates this rule will be disqualified regardless of the result. And their affiliated sect or clan will be held accountable. In a real sword duel, every move can be a close call. So, where do they draw the line for what counts as fatal? To disqualify a person and censure their sect or clan based on subjective judgment criteria. Many heroes of the Murim Alliance. The Murim contest is a stage for you all. The winner will gain honor and wealth, and the victorious martial faction will secure a noble position. I, Jinho, in the name of the 18 great martial factions of the Murim Alliance, declare open the Murim contest. Wah! Something's wrong. Well, sort of. Did they really have to declare the opening in the name of the 18 great martial factions? Then whose name should they use? Divine monks. I think we've lived under the shadow of his name long enough. Now is the time for a new generation in the Murim Alliance to step out of it. A new generation. Even if this new generation brings about another disorder. It seems she couldn't hear me. Meanwhile, Woon Hyun, I will do that. No, I just finished. Let's divide that up too. Although working with Secretary Woon is awkward, the efficiency is definitely better with 3 people. With each passing day, the Murim contest grew more intense. The finals, where 10 disciples selected from each clan competed, were all breathtaking. Above all, with the emergence of powerful individuals who could be considered the backbone of their respective families, the martial stage of the Murim Alliance was truly crowded. I'm Duanmu Chi from the Duanmu family. Yang Hojin from MANHWA. You must be tired from the continuous spars, so I'll finish this one as quickly as possible. How kind of you. But it won't go your way. Let's probe him first. My sword doesn't reach him as if it's attached to his. Ugh. Ack. I have no choice. Without inner energy. Plum blossom. Look at that. It did end quickly. Right. Plum blossom sword. As expected, great warrior Yang Hojin is so cool. The MANHWA sect wins. Wah! Plum blossom sword. Please look here. He's truly a plum blossom swordsman of MANHWA. Song Wondyu Wudong sect leader. It's just a small trick. Of course, that child is a promising talent in our MANHWA. Ho ho ho. Gu Zhangchu MANHWA sect leader. However, his opponent was also pretty good. From the Duanmu family, right? Yes. The Duanmu family must have already gained a lot just by defeating the Diansang sect. One of the 18 great martial factions. Thus, today's defeat won't be too bitter for them. Did they call the 5 rising families, including the Duanmu family, the 5 emergent great families? If they become a new vigor in the Murim Alliance, it would be delightful. Ho ho. Humph, is that really your true heart? Ultimately, those who hold vested rights would naturally seek to increase their own influence by exploiting the current situation. But things won't go their way, perhaps. He looks so proud despite losing. How could he think of probing Yang Hojin in the first place? He should have gone all out from the start. Wah! It's time to step down, brother. Plum blossom sword. Plum blossom sword Yang Hojin. Humph. Can't stand seeing tits. I am Chong Jin from Wudong. Oh my, you're so inflexible. Why such formalities when we see each other all the time? I mean, this is an official martial spar. Ah. Speaking so coldly, you hurt a woman's feelings. To think she could show that expression even to me, who has clearly seen her usual demeanor. Women are indeed a mystery. Moreover, my heart fluttered at such an obvious act. I still have a long way to go. It's an honor to face the snow flower from the Tang family. Please, teach me. The Taoist from Wudong is truly humble. Alright. A soft sword. It's finally out. They say she has made many opponents kneel with that sword. A beautiful sword, isn't it? But be careful. Beautiful things are always deadly. Beautiful things are always deadly. Since the Taoist is a virtuous man, I believe you'll let me make the first attack. All right. I can't even see their exchanges. What's happening? A series of soft yet dazzling strikes. There is no chance to counterattack it. It's a heavy sword style typical of the Wudang sect. What's more, he hasn't moved an inch from his spot. The sword of Wudang indeed lives up to its reputation. You're too kind. I'm also surprised the Tang family's sword hasn't gained fame until now. Oh my, the Taoist does know how to flatter a lady. But it's just a trifling trick. The true power of the Tang family lies elsewhere. The Tang family of Sichuan. A prestigious family that is the overlord of the Sichuan province. Although they are known for hidden weapons and poison, their true power lies in their poisonous hearts. Of course, in a martial spar that emphasizes etiquette like this, such things can't be exposed. However, describing the Tang family's sword, which has surpassed countless families with its swordsmanship alone, as a trifling trick, is quite a blow to my pride, even if taken as modesty. With such high praise from you, I can't just stand idly by. It's different from before. I imitated our family's consummate skill, the sky-obscuring flamboyant rainfall. This sword technique is called the sky-obscuring snowflakes. Killing intent. Flower scent. Sky-obscuring snowflakes. This series of strikes is unbelievably fast. It literally feels like cold snowflakes are swirling all over the sky. I might already be too late to counterattack. Though it was just a moment of losing focus during a martial spar, I must be prepared to risk at least one arm. Ha! Ack. Phew. No doubt. That's Wudang's Taiji sword style. This martial spar might take a little longer. No, it might not. What? I couldn't win even with my consummate skill, so there's no point in continuing our spar. Besides, I'm fully satisfied just to have seen the Taoist's Taiji sword style. What do you? I lost. Won't you declare the winner? Ah. Wudang wins. Wah. And the Tang family won't field any more participants. Meaning, I'm the last one. Congratulations on Wudang's victory. Now, Wudang will unquestionably be named one of the world's 4 greatest martial factions. But when a woman says she is satisfied, a man should step back. The clingy type earns displeasure. Oh. And you'd better visit the medical office as soon as possible. Medical office. Though I was completely unguarded against poison, to be poisoned without even noticing. In a fight for life or death, I would have been the one to lose my life. Yeah. Wudang. One of the world's 4 greatest martial factions, Wudang. Congrats, Miss Tang. Congrats on what? On your victory, of course, what else? Looks like your eyesight and hearing aren't great. I lost. Well, everyone has a different perspective. Stepping down from the martial stage yourself was a wise move. It's quite annoying when seasoned elders in the spectator stand throw tantrums about resorting to killing methods or poison. Did you block my way just to say that? Nah, not that. I thought you might have a fresh view on the changes the 5 emergent families will bring to the Murim alliance. Humph, the 5 emergent families. What kind of fresh view are you looking for? Unlike the existing 18 great martial factions, the 5 emergent families are relatively free from the Great Justice-Evil War of 30 years ago. The Murim alliance could adopt a new way of unity, unbound by orthodox and unorthodox distinctions. For example, focusing on clans like Shaolin, Wudang, and MANHWA dedicated to cultivation, alongside region-based families engaged in profit-driven activities. In that case, the Tang family could serve as the focal point of that power, actually becoming the greatest family of the mainland. Hollow titles like one of the world's 4 greatest martial factions would be left to sects practicing deep in the mountains. We could even escape the influence of the divine monk, who stands as the emblematic terminator of the great justice-evil war. That's quite an original idea. You don't deny it. Who knows? As you said, everyone has a different perspective. Take care. Oh dear, your reaction seems icy. So what in the world are you hiding this time? Lady Tang. Is this actually the one from the rumors? Right, the very supreme strength heavenly miraculous soul pill. With this, Chief Jiang's internal energy will surpass even the most renowned masters of Jianghu. It will be a reformation beyond recognition, akin to being reborn. Are you saying it can truly help one achieve such a transformation? Jiang Hodou, leader of the Black Mountain Bandits. Reformation, not transformation. And who said it's going to be reformation? It's just similar to that. As I mentioned earlier, Chief Jiang is no longer just a chief. From now on, the name of the new green forest will echo throughout the world, so I hope to see a suitable level of dignity. Are there any side effects? As expected, his eyes are glued to the pill. Have you forgotten already? At the Yangtze River, the Dark Heaven Martial Emperor defeated the head of the Namgung clan, Thunder Sword Namgung Jinshin, with a single strike. Well, if Chief Jiang truly can't trust me, who said I can't trust you? I was just asking to be sure. By the way, how should I repay such a precious thing? Never mind. Nothing is needed. Chief Leader just greatly appreciates your spirit and ability. So, I hope you will continue to be loyal to the new green forest. And keep silent about the pill. Understood. Legends of the Swordsman Schola. I'll take my leave. Oh Lord, I couldn't even treat you properly after receiving such a precious elixir. Don't worry about it. Our new green forest has plenty of those pills anyway. Qinggong. Just this small thing is enough to let me soar like that patrol officer. To think that within a few days, the names of the new green forest and the Yangtze River Pirates Alliance will shock the world. What kind of guy is the chief leader of the new green forest? Meanwhile, the Murim contest was rapidly approaching its last hours. The title 18 great martial factions had lost its fame, and new names appeared based on new rankings. Among the 5 emergent great clans, the Duanwu clan, along with the Southern Sea Sword sect, made it to the top 16. Meanwhile, the Tang clan and the Jaegao clan were listed among the first 8. Wudong and MANHWA secured their places among the world's 4 greatest martial factions early on, and Shaolin joined as the 3rd. The outcome of the contest spars did not determine the sect's ranking, yet the striking performances had a significant impact on their evaluation. Among them, the one that garnered the most attention. Actually, the Murim clan also has quite a deep history, right? Just deep. It's strange they have been lying low until now. But you know, the Gongsun clan is tough too. Despite being considered unorthodox, they're still a traditional, prestigious clan. Plus, didn't they belong to the 18 great martial factions of the Murim Alliance? It's not going to be easy, though. Didn't you see Murong Jin defeating the 3 eldest disciples of the evil faction and their representative, Mook Hyaliap, one after another? In the last moments, he clearly showed the sword chi manifestation. But just for a moment, yeah. At most, it's at the entry stage. At most. Listen, even the entry stage, even for a moment, is impressive. Whoa, whoa. Cool down. They say the eldest Gongsun disciple has also reached the entry stage of sword chi manifestation, so we'll be able to find out in the upcoming spar, right? Brother Jean, are you okay? You seem a little nervous. Nervous? Yes, to be honest, I am. That's right, considering the opponent is the Gongsun clan. Besides. No, that's not it. My fear is not reaching the swordsmanship realm shown by his lordship Woon. And I'm afraid I might bring shame to great warrior Dako. The Gongsun clan doesn't scare me at all. Elder brother grew closer to great warrior Dako after visiting Iron Peak. Since his lordship Woon and great warrior Dako left the